Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Desperate Estonian Weather. Wow, I really hate autumn, it's worthless. But anyway, this video is about actually a pretty cool topic. So, Christmas trees. I have never been a fan of going to a marketplace, buying a Christmas tree, using it for a couple of weeks and then throwing it in the trash. That makes zero sense, literally. I don't get it. I myself have always used some plastic piece of crap Christmas tree for the Christmas seasons. I have never had a live tree in the living room. But then I got an idea. It would be really cool if we had a Christmas tree here somewhere on this spot and we could light it up from the outside. And I want the tree to be live, so it will grow each year a little bit. It will get bigger and bigger. Hopefully by the time it gets too big, I'm long gone, so it won't be an issue anymore. But I don't want to get a small plant. I want to skip the first 20 years. Luckily I don't have to go and buy a tree. I mean, I have plenty of wild Christmas trees going on around the property. Let's go find a Christmas tree. Don't really want to go to the forest. I'm a bit lazy right now, so maybe I can just hijack some freaking lawnmower. Why you bother me? Maybe I can just hijack some trees nearby without anybody noticing them gone. Got a bunch of trees here, conveniently placed though. I don't know if I can dig them out without damaging the next one. I need some kind of tree that is alone, so I don't risk damaging the roots of the surrounding trees. Too small. Can't find anything perfect. What the hell was that? I swear I saw something. Seemed like a really fat rabbit. I mean, this one is kinda okay height, but half of the tree is missing. Somebody has messed up the bark on this one. Wild animals, no respect for the nature. Think I found the perfect tree. Might have some problems transporting it though. Probably need to call up Elon to rent his Starship for this one. Transporting this one will be a headache. But the thing is like a perfect Christmas tree. Something that you would place at the town center or something. There's so many options of trees, yet there is none. What is going on? Where did this guy come from? This looks pretty good. I think this would be a perfect Christmas tree for the cabin. What do you think, guys? Yeah, let's go with this one. Okay, I'm gonna prepare the hoe. I'm gonna prepare the hole and then let's just take it from there. There you are. Time to get back to work, buddy. Why did I pay 8 grand for you? Just so you can sit here and do nothing? That will not do. I'm guessing somewhere here would do just fine. Don't really want to go too close to the boulder wall. Also, probably not a good idea to go too close to the house. Somewhere here, I assume. Gonna need to mess up this lawn area now. Again. Do I wanna break my camera or not? Come on, bro. These things are not cheap. I think this should do. I mean, the tree is not that big. And spruce, it's not really a deep rooted tree. Spruce has its roots mostly on the, well, not deep. Don't know what the proper word for the top side of the soil is. Topsoil? Yeah, I guess that works. Anyway, before I go and get the tree, I was probably thinking I should most likely install some kind of a power line here. Having extension cords on the topsoil here for the entire winter season is probably not that great of an idea. Closest spot where I can get power is, well, from the cabin, but not directly from the cabin. Instead, I could get it from here. This power line comes from the cabin. It's designed mostly for the future build of this hobbit hole, but I'm sure I can hijack some power for the Christmas tree as well. Yeah. A quick attach would be cold right about now. Okay, that's that. Got the trenches and holes finished. I would probably go deeper though, but I do have that water line somewhere here that goes to the cabin, so I don't want to mess up that water line. That would be a colossal pain to sort it out if I do break it. Okay, so what's next? Maybe the tree part. Actually, I'm gonna install the electrical cable first. I do have the cable, but I don't have any earth rated, I mean this stuff. This is all I have left. This is clearly not enough. I could install it in a pipe, but pretty sure this pipe will most likely collapse over the years. What's this? So this is like a water pipe. Underground water pipe. 22 millimeters. How about that? Hell, I don't think I'm ever gonna use this thing. Might as well install the cable in here. I mean, this plastic seems pretty heavy duty. Pretty sure this won't collapse. And it should keep the cable nicely safe. I'm pretty sure this stuff is 10 times stronger than this stuff. It is expensive though. Luckily, I got it for free. Don't tell anyone. I love free stuff. That should do the trick. I give it an unspun rating. By the way, check it out. It stopped raining about 30 minutes ago and all the water is gone. Just goes to show you how well this ground actually drains. And the ground feels solid. So next up, I'm gonna backfill this trench all the way. Then I'm gonna go get that tree. It's gonna be a lot of work for moi. So let's roll some dunes and get this over with. But first, quick note here. We did have some change in plans about the tree. So we're gonna go with this football instead. Now this type of spruce, it will not go very tall, but rather it will kind of go, well, football mode. It's like a ball. I guess it might also work. Basically, it's probably not a good idea to put a wild spruce next to a building, apparently. This one will be the one. You know, for the size of this thing, this is quite heavy. On ta sirge enam-vähem või?
Küll, kamara võib panna ka tagurpidi. Ta ei lähe kasvama. See nädaneb ära.
The thing is nicely installed at about the same depth it was. So before the line was, well, it was here, so exactly the same depth. Okay, well, I'm gonna sort out this area, kind of try to clear everything up, and then let's take it from there. Great news, guys. Daylight saving time just kicked out. Now, instead of getting dark at 10 AM, it's gonna get dark at 9 AM. What a load of crap. That should do the trick. Just yesterday, I did not have any tree or electric line here. Yeah, this part kind of went pretty fast. So this spruce tree, I mean, I was told that it will have multiple dips. So currently it has 1, 2, 3. It will not grow very tall. Apparently about 2 meters maximum. So somewhere here. But it will kind of grow wider. Now that I'm thinking about it, this tree was probably the better choice of the duo. I mean, if I would have put that wild spruce there, in about 40 years the thing would probably look something like this. Yeah. Which is not half bad, because this looks like an amazing Christmas tree as well. But the thing is so thick, can't even get to the tree trunk. Very wild. But having that tree here, probably not the best idea. Okay, next order of business. Need to sort out the power line now. I need a couple of things for this to work. A, I need to make sure this is watertight, because it will remain outside indefinitely. And B, oh, never mind, there's no B, there's just A. So I'm guessing the best choice is my good old friend concrete. Some kind of a concrete shell, maybe, or a concrete footing with a wooden shell. A steel box would be another option, but man, I would use steel for some more interesting projects than this. Or perhaps a combination of concrete and some brickwork. Let's see what I can cook up for this part. Guess that's good enough. No point removing the rocks if I'm gonna add rocks back anyway. Now for some framey. Now for some mixy mix. Man, I can do this all day long and it still would not get any better. Now I just need to wait. That should do it. That will do. Now for some cheeky bricky. I got really lucky with this pile. I mean, it has this interesting sandy finish. And I managed to get it really cheap. For this entire pile, I paid about $14. Absolute win. Wonder if that thing even works, considering it's the all-wheel drive brand. I got it last year, used it for about, I don't know, half an hour maybe. Haven't used it for almost a year. Clearly this thing is all-wheel drive. Need to figure out some kind of a layout for this. See what we can come up with. Kinda shallow. Think this will work fine. Do need to do some gutting though, but luckily they're all the same size. For cutting the bricks, I'm gonna use this homemade brick cutter. So yeah, the thing actually works pretty good. This grinder though sounds like a freaking jet engine. Feels like it just wants to take off and just fly to orbit. So my cousin built this thing a while ago. He built it for only one reason, and that reason was to construct this wood fire stove. I mean, the amount of time the guy spent on building this thing, I believe it was around 7 months or so. But the detailing of the thing is amazing. A quick tip here, guys. When starting fires in a wood fire stove, always try to start the fires from the top. That will lead to a more efficient burn. Watching live fire plus seeing how other people work are the two most enjoyable things a human can see. I could do this all day long. As long as fire is controlled and it serves a purpose, then fire is awesome. Actually, I want something similar for the cabin. This type of wood fire stove. Just one would be enough to heat the whole cabin up. By the way, in Estonia, if you have a wood fire stove in your home, it's actually mandatory to have this thing. Because carbon monoxide poisoning is no joke. First off, you can't see the thing and it's odorless. If you're exposed to it for long periods, you will just kinda die. And you can even hook up a water outlet for this thing. But considering I only needed to cut 4 bricks, then why even bother? In all honesty, this should just take a moment. This is pretty smooth sailing right now. Okay, that should do. Now to make these gaps looking a bit nicer, I'm gonna use this gap smoother 1100. Thing looks like a cute little chimney, or at least the start of a one. I'm gonna try to do some kind of a roof here now. Has to follow my certain criteria. So cheap, simple, and it sort of has to look good. Sort of. Well, it's definitely easy and cheap, but doesn't quite fit the dirt criteria. Got to try a bit harder here. Wait, what now? Don't even know. Why is this thing firewood? I'm pretty sure this nail is holding this bit together. What a piece of crap! Man. I don't know. I don't think those two top tiles kind of fit the set here. Or do they? Maybe it's okay. This is definitely by far the smallest roof I've ever built. But I don't think this concrete roofing tile kind of fits here very well. I mean, there it fits fine. Here it's also fine. But the smaller you go, I think the more weirder it will look. I don't know. I'm gonna leave it like this. Let me know in the comments what you think. Flat as a pancake. Well, okie dokie. So far going quite well. Got the tree here, got the cable thing down here, and got that thing there. Bunch of things everywhere. God damn it, I stop. God damn it, I stop. God damn it, I stop. Why do you keep saying that? God damn it, I have to stop. Is that so hard to say? What the crap? God damn it, I have to stop saying here. Why is it so hard? Oh my lord. Anyway, next up we got to do the electricity thing. Electricity thing. What does that even mean? Electricity. Anyway guys, next up is to connect the electricity to this. Let's just call it the access point. Usually when connecting electricity up, you should always start from the final line and then work your way up to where there is power, just to avoid, you know, dying. So first things first, let's add a socket to this spot, then add a junction box to this area. After that, add a temporary electrical panel to the cabin, and finally hook up the power from that paneling back there. So this is the paneling where the cabin will get its power from eventually. So these 4 lines will be going to the cabin. It will be a 3-phase line. Every paneling I have at the homestead is rated for 3 phases. I think in Europe overall it's pretty standard. I did install this cable for the cabin a long time ago. Actually, when I was working on this building, I believe it was about 7 years ago now, when I built this tractor shed. I absolutely hate if my equipment is just sitting outside, exposed to the rain, snow, wind, whatever. So I always wanted to build some kind of a shed for my tractor, and it did not really take me that long time. I believe I built it in about a couple of months. Just a simple timber frame building with some siding, some roof tiles, and maybe some other stuff as well. But when I was doing this building, I always knew I should install that electrical wiring cable for the cabin as well. First time using a hacksaw to cut the cable casing. Wow, that is pretty interesting. Definitely the strongest cable casing in the universe. Wind and waterproof. That's all I need. Very nice. For once, I don't see a made in China sign. Huh. IP55, so waterproof, UV protection, temperature stuff, snowproof, whatever this thing is. Even babies can use this. And on top of that, the thing supports 2K resolution. Yeah. It doesn't really matter which hole you put it. The only important part is the center one, but other than that, doesn't really matter. That's pretty interesting. How did that thing come loose? It was kind of weird. Definitely the most amount of work I've ever done in order to install one socket. Apparently Makitas can't drill into boulders. I mean, I also have this drill, but the thing with this one is I don't have a battery charger for it and it only has 2 bar. But let's compare it to the Makita. I mean, that thing did not drill at all. See how this does. Well, definitely better than Makita, but still kind of slow. This is the proper dual. Gonna be the strongest anchor here. Wonder how this thing works. Wow, are you kidding me? What the hell? Why was I using that knife grab? This is so much better. This part is incredibly easy. Everything is color coded, so just connect the colors up. From the darker colors, usually brown, black, gray, is where you get the horsepower. The blue one is usually the neutral, and the green and yellow is ground. In Europe, we have the ground connection hook up absolutely to everywhere. Even simple lights. We got some fighter jets. Quite low as well. But considering the weather is some kind of apocalypse weather, I probably can't see anything anyway. Now these bush on clips are amazing. The downside is that they're not really reusable. So if you want to change anything in the future, you need to cut them off and get a new one. So that kind of creates unnecessary waste. Okay, that should do the trick. In my defense, it's only temporary. If I start working on the root cellar, obviously I'm gonna let some electrician finish the paneling for it. I'm gonna install a socket here as well, so running extension cords everywhere and keeping them in place for months on end, probably not the best idea. Yeah. So the next thing is to install this electrical panel somewhere here. I will be only hooking up the incoming line and the root cellar connection. Oh yeah, this one. Now I could cheat, you know, kinda duct tape them together and the thing would work until there is some kind of short. Then there's a problem. To avoid that, I need to add a couple of things in here. So the first thing is a main switch. This is just a simple 3-phase main switch, rated for 40 amps, and it's not made in China, made in Finland. This one though is probably the most important part. So this thing is called a fault current protector. It's pretty common to have these in your electrical panels all around Europe. But in America, I don't think you guys have these things in your panels. I believe you only have it for your bathrooms. Here in Europe, the thing goes into the electrical panel. All the power runs through this thing. And if it detects a fault anywhere in the building, it will immediately shut down the power. For example, if you throw a hairdryer into your toilet for some reason, while you are in your toilet for some reason, then this thing will save your life. Now after this, usually come these guys. Now these guys are just switches, or I have no idea what they're called. But basically they're like fuses. If the amperage gets too high, they will trigger and turn off the power. Now I've never really installed these things before. I'm gonna have it only temporarily though. Obviously I need some electrician to come hook it up if I wanna connect the rest of the cables, and I also need to get the panel certified. Most likely I need a bigger box as well. Somewhere here for now, I guess. By the way, don't do anything what I'm about to do. These things are no joke. You can easily die. Somehow, I'm still alive. You know, usually these things are designed to be connected to the thin line where the switches are connected to. Kind of short on space here. I need a bigger box, but this should also be fine. At least I got all the phase lines separated from the ground wiring. That's probably a good idea, just to make sure that things don't burn down. I'm gonna go switch on the power. Let's see if something starts to catch on fire or not. Okay, this end seems to be working, maybe. Yep. Got power on all three phases. It's really cold outside. Just +1. Really good that I heated the wires up before bending them. Installing temperature for wiring should be about 15 degrees. And if it's below 0, you need to definitely take some precautions. Yeah, here's me yapping off about this box. But the cabin is probably on fire by now. Oh man, the thing has not burned down. Oh well, better luck next time. Before I switch on the main switch, let's see if we have power. Yep. Okay. Seems like I have power on all three phases. Let's see what happens. This part is the most exciting part, because nothing is happening. Huh, where's the power? Power, where you at, bro? Okay, I think I know what I did wrong. I shorted out all three phases with a single phase bridge. This thing. In a three-phase system, you have to keep everything separate. Smarter every day. For this application, I'm gonna leave two phases unused, and I'm only gonna use one phase. Okay, the thing should work now. So yeah guys, don't short out the phases. What? What am I missing? Pretty sure I'm not that dumb. Wait a minute. Well, apparently I am that dumb. This is huge, guys. Freaking huge. I have power at the cabin. And the thing is not even on fire. Absolute win. I've had this extension cord here for the last year and a half. I can finally remove it. Definitely made in China. This. I can finally remove the extension cord and close the freaking window. Colossal moment right here. And it's already been like, I don't know, 5 minutes. And the thing has not burned down yet. Should probably test the fault current protector as well. Oh yeah. So what this little button does is basically it generates a short between the phase and ground, and immediately it will shut down the power. I mean, the reaction time is literally milliseconds, and the goal of this thing is to make sure that people don't die. But all the lining before the switch though can still kill you. Only the wiring after the switch will save your life. Actually, let's go check out if I have power at the Christmas tree also. I'm pretty sure I do. I feel warmer already. Well, that's one way to heat this area up, I guess. Whoa, 2 kilowatts, bro. 5 minutes of this running, and I have to sell a kidney. Oh, never mind, I already sold both my kidneys. I have nothing to sell anymore. Okay, guys, so I got the Christmas tree here, got power at the Christmas tree, power at the cabin. Somehow I'm still alive, and that's about it. I got this episode a win. Maybe I can slightly improve this bit here. I'm sure it's fine. That switch is pretty waterproof, but maybe I should add a door. Yeah, let's do that door thing. What to put there though? Plywood would work, but the thing would need to be waterproof plywood. And considering this thing probably costs more than my soul, then right now that's another option. OSB maybe. Yeah, this thing would just break down in a couple of years. Let's go with homemade stuff. I've had this boy since forever, and the measurements are exactly what I need there. This thing looks pretty dope, I would say. Magnets, guys. This thing seriously looks like a miniature version of that thing there. It's only missing a deck and a balcony. Plenty of room here, so I'm sure I can build one if it's necessary. This is a lot better, because on this building I actually have a working door. What a lazy ass I am. One more thing. Well, that sorts out this bit. I think it came out great. That pretty much wraps up this video. Got everything sorted out nicely. So yeah guys, as always, thanks for watching. And I will see you in the next one. Considering it's been outside for a year and a half, still looks pretty good.